I've shared several videos about my power wheelchair, including a full tour of my chair and all of its cool capabilities. I'll link that in the caption of this video. But today, I want to talk about something that people have asked me over the years. How does my wheelchair run? What is the power source? It's funny because kids at school and other adults have actually asked me if my wheelchair uses gasoline. This is probably because I compare my wheelchair to a NASCAR race car during my speech, but it still makes me chuckle. No, my wheelchair does not use gas. It uses two 12-volt batteries. From what I've learned over the years, there are 3 types of batteries used in wheelchairs, and mine are gel batteries, which are the only kind that work in my particular wheelchair, which is a Permobil F3. According to MK Battery, which is where I get my batteries from, a gel battery is more expensive than other types, but they tend to hold their charge for much longer, which means it's perfect for someone like me who uses my wheelchair all day long. Another type of battery is called a wet cell battery, but when flying, an airline can make me take those batteries out of my wheelchair, which would be a big pain to do. And they do this because wet cell batteries have the potential of spilling if it tips. That's why I'm thankful that my chair has gel batteries. So no matter which batteries I use, they have to be powerful, especially since my wheelchair weighs about 350 pounds without me in it, and I like to get going quickly. I've been told that my batteries can last about 16 miles, but I've never tried that and I've never come close to that. But it'd be pretty awesome if that were true. Now, as far as charging the batteries, I charge my wheelchair every night. It takes about 8 hours to reach a full charge. I do keep it fully charged as much as possible because I never want to run out of battery power. That would be very bad, especially if we're not at home. My indicator light on my wheelchair right up here goes from green to yellow to red. Now, I rarely let it get to yellow, let alone red. It's come close a couple times throughout the 20 plus years of being in a wheelchair, and I'm sweating bullets if I see the blinking red light saying I have a low battery. I just have more peace of mind when I can keep those indicator lights in the green. I don't ever want to run the risk of getting stranded somewhere, as my wheelchair does have a manual function, but you can push it, but it's very heavy and that would be very difficult to do. So as you may assume, there's an on-off switch on my chair. It's right here. I tend to leave my chair on most of the time. It doesn't drain the battery, and because it takes 3 seconds after switching it on or off for it to start working, which can feel like a long time if you want to move quickly. Of course, if I leave it on, there's always a chance someone can bump my joystick, or even one of my cats can lean against it and take me across the room. And I'd be lying if I said this hasn't happened before. I've had people also lean over me to give me a hug and my chair has shot backwards. Luckily, no one has ever gotten hurt. So when you watch my other video where I give you a full tour of my chair, you'll see that my wheelchair has 2 extreme speeds, turtle and rabbit. And there are 5 speeds in between them. I'm always on rabbit. I like having more power and the option to zip around if I want to. But when my caregivers drive it up to the bed in the morning, they usually have it on turtle because this chair sometimes has a mind of its own and can be hard to drive. I've had over 20 years of practice and it still has a mind of its own sometimes. Now, the last thing you might be wondering is how often I have to have my batteries replaced. We actually just had them swapped out recently. We do this about every 2 years. Unfortunately, I've noticed that these new batteries aren't holding their charge as well as the old ones did, and it makes me nervous. If you're watching this and you have a power chair, can you weigh in and let me know if you've experienced the same thing recently? I'd love to hear about your experiences. And for anyone watching, let me know if you have any other questions about how my wheelchair functions. I'd love to create more content to answer your questions or to help you out. See you next time.